Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to proof our yeast. This is the 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and a cup of very warm water. This is going to take about 10 minutes to proof. And we added to this 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of instant yeast. And it's going to proof now. In the meantime, we can mix our other ingredients. There's 4 cups of flour minus the 2 tablespoons in here. Whoop. This is 1/4 cup of wheat gluten. 1 teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of sugar. And we're going to pulse that, all those dry ingredients. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We want to make sure that's all combined well. Now we're going to take 2 cups of our flour out of there. Now this is going to be a little fluffier than it was when we put it in there, so don't be afraid to overfill that measuring cup a wee bit. Okey-dokey. As you can see, this has proofed very nicely. Now we're going to add half of this to the dough in the food processor. And I can see that I need a little more water. Second half. And now we combine the two. Can you see my hands? Okay. Divide it in half. Put it back in the food processor. We set our timer. Turn it on. The wonderful thing about this, when you take that dough out of there after 1 minute by the timer, you'll notice that it's quite warm. This takes the place of hand kneading. Here you have it. A nice, soft dough that comes out perfect every time. Combine the two together, and then we're going to put it in an oiled bowl and allow it to raise for about 40 minutes. It probably will more than double. We gotta have a bowl here. We're putting in a little bit of olive oil. Rub it around the bowl. Take your dough, place it in there, turn it over. And then we're gonna cover it with some plastic wrap and we're gonna set it aside. And here's our dough after 40 minutes. Now we're gonna shape it into what it is we want to make with it. You don't need to pound this. You should work it gently. Gently, gently. And I think I'm going to make a nice loaf of Italian bread, or maybe a couple of subs over here out of this. Couple of sub rolls. Make one big one for the man of the house and one a little smaller for me. Make sure you don't have any big air pockets in there. You can make some rolls. These make nice sandwich rolls, nice big, old-fashioned. You used to be able to get them at the bakery, sandwich rolls. If you spray them with some, spritz them with some water, I shouldn't say spray them, spritz them with some water after they're made, but before you put them in the oven, you'll get a harder crust. And you can dip them, the way I do it when I do it is poppy seeds or sesame seeds. Wet the top of the roll, spritz it, and then just dip the roll before it raises. Like at this stage, you would dip the roll into a little bowl of your seeds, whatever your choice is, or garlic, onion. It's kind of small. I'm going to save half of this to make pizza with tomorrow. You can save it over in the refrigerator. I'm going to make a small pizza. Just want to add a little more of that. That'll make a 12-inch pizza easy. Or a few fried dough pizzas. A couple of small rolls here for dinner, not sandwiches. And usually this will rest for 30 minutes, raise. You know, preheat the oven during that time. We will see. This we'll put in a Ziploc bag, put it in the refrigerator. Squeeze the air out of the bag. You can see that you have enough with that recipe to make at least a 12-inch pizza, a couple of sub rolls, and four nice little rolls there. Okay. Now this is after the dough has risen, after it's been formed into the loaf. So I'm going to put it in the oven now, and then we'll show you how it comes out. I underestimated my pizza dough that I had, bread dough, yeast dough that I had left over, and I did make a 16-inch thin crust pizza. This is the pizza I'm going to put in the oven. Like that. How's that?